Hello everyone. Let's talk about the next topic about how to create instance in the cloud for Linux operating system. That will be our next topic, and we will go over again. For this one also we need to follow same process. Go to the Amazon console, launch the instance, select the AMI that you want to use. For example, you can use Amazon Linux machine, you can use Red Hat, you can use SUS, you can use Ubuntu. There are a lot of AMIs that are available with Amazon. You can pick that. The next step is very similar to the Windows instance. You can also select the instance type, whether it's a T1 micro or T2 micro, stuff like that. You can just click review and launch. The most important difference is here you will download a security key and you need to use a putty or putty gem and putty in order to launch this Linux instance. So we're gonna go over that process. So let's log back in to our instance. So same thing, just go here. Now click on the running instances. Simply click on launch instances. Okay. Now here you can see a various AMIs, Red Hat, Ubuntu, and Ubuntu server, Amazon Linux AMI. So Amazon Linux AMI, it is a EBS, elastic based storage. It's a AWS supported image. It supports the Python, Ruby, Perl, Java by default. The repositories also include the PostgreSQL, PHP, and MySQL packages. So this is the best AMI if you are trying to use a PostgreSQL, PHP, or MySQL. You can use with the Amazon AMI. For this one, it is just from the Ubuntu, right? This SUS Linux that comes with the Apache 2.2, MySQL, PHP, and Ruby. So it is already available here. And also, if you go to Red Hat, Red Hat has just the generic type of a storage SSD. Same thing for the Ubuntu. So for now, just to make things simpler, let's just go ahead and create a simple Amazon Linux AMI. Okay, so just click select, and here also you need to do exactly same thing. You will pick again same thing. If you are trying to do some memory optimized operation, you can select the memory optimized AM type with the two CPUs, and number of memory is like 17 GB, 34 GB, and 68 or 70 GB. Same thing, if you use a compute optimize, you can go with the C3, C3X large, C3 2X large, 4X large, 8X large, medium, or C1. Some instance type are not available because it's a Amazon Linux AMI, so it's not available. You can also pick a storage optimized one, and only two are available, that is the H1 and HS for this type. For us, we'll just pick the micro instance that's available for free of cost. So just select a T1 micro, virtual CPU is just 1, memory is 0.613. So just go ahead and click next to go to the configuration detail. Now here also you can go with the auto scaling option, and I already explained you the auto scaling in the previous video regarding it's the same option that's also available for Linux. You can put the auto scaling option, you can specify number of instances that you want to keep it in auto scale. So what will happen if your usage is going above certain limit, it will automatically spin up a new servers similar to the one that you are configuring right now. It will use the same AMI. For the network, as I mentioned, you can create your own virtual private network as well, and you can create public network. So whatever websites you have in Apache, you can deploy that. If it is available to the public, it will go to the public subnet. If it is going to be available to a private, that means only an internal user, then it will go towards that only. Now Let's just talk about the subnet. So these are a various subnets that are available with this particular region. As I mentioned, Amazon has a data center in East, West, in Asia, in Japan. There are various locations. They have this different type of availability zones are available. So if I pick a East, as I am closer in the East zone, like this is my data center in North Virginia, I can also create instances in West if I want to, but for now, let's just take it to the East region. And these are of different regions that I have A, B, C, D, and E. These are a different types of region that you have. So for example, let's just pick the simpler one. Let's just pick a region P. Okay. Or you can also keep any region. By default, it will pick that one. Okay. Now, for now, let's just keep the default one, no preference, right? Let's go to auto assign public IP mode so that it will just assign it automatically. For the IAM role, we will talk about that later, right? For the shutdown behavior, as soon as you shut down the server, if you pass a shutdown command in this instance, it will automatically, if you have a stop option, if you shut it down, it's gonna stop the instance. If you select the terminate option, then what will happen whenever you launch a shutdown command from the Linux operating system, from Linux server, it will automatically terminate your instance, so you will not get overly charged for this, right? You can also enable the protection against the accidental termination. For the CloudWatch, let's not worry about it right now. We will have a separate video, entire thing related to the CloudWatch. Okay, uh, just go to click review and launch, or let's just add a storage first. Right now, we have just a root drive with the 8 GB storage, and the volume type is magnetic. You can change it to SSD if you want a fast-paced operation. Also, your volume is not encrypted yet. You can always add any other drive as well. You can add a new volume and just name it as whatever drive you want to call it. You can specify number of GB here. You can also specify whether you want SSD or cold HDD or a magnetic, right? So you can specify all that. Now let's just close this one. Remember, this option is enabled for us right now. So what will happen whenever you terminate this instance, whenever you click a shutdown command, your volume will also be terminated. Okay. Now let's just go ahead and add a tags over here. We did the same key value pair last video as well. So we'll just do this. Our department name is HR. Add another tag, UAI, UAI 004545 because it's a Linux instance. AMI or machine image, that is a Linux image. You can add another tag, for example, manager name or project manager or sponsor name, project charge code. You can just add that tag, right? So project charge code, that's something you can add that as well. EMI or whatever you have it for the previous Windows session, you can select that. So now just click next, and remember, you will add a new security. You are going to create a security group. Just name the security group as Linux machine underscore security group, just for the sample run, right? Now, what we will do is, here you can only access this your Linux server through the SSH. Now there are a custom protocols you can configure. If you want to use it through the MS SQL or Oracle or PostgreSQL, you can always configure that. Now, for example, if you have installed a PostgreSQL in your database, in your Linux server, and you download the Postgres client in your computer, then you have to open up this particular port so that your application can access the PostgreSQL. This is very important. Now, for example, if you install, let's see, there are other rules as well that you can do. Redshift. Oracle. So now let's say, for example, if you have installed a MySQL in this Linux server, that means you have to open up that port as well, and you can just specify the source address. Now, if your database or if this Linux instance is going to be accessed through all the nodes, all the security is open to the world, you don't need to specify this, right? It's gonna be anywhere or my IP. When you choose my IP, that means it will only work from your IP address. Normally in a big corporations, they just define this as I just want this to be available inside my private network, especially you are talking about a databases, especially for PostgreSQL, MySQL, SSH. All these things should just be accessible through the internal network, so that you can specify the organization IP addresses that I just want this machine to be accessible through this range to the other range. You just specify it that way, right? So now we are good for now. We'll just keep this as it is and just go ahead and my IP, for example, my IP, and this is it. Just click review and launch. General purpose boot from general purpose SSD is make the general the boot, so you can just pick the option that you like. Continue with the magnetic disk, or else let's just go with the SSD storage. It's just a sample one anyways, so just click next. And let's review all the details now. You have used Amazon AMI, Linux AMI. So the default image already includes Amazon command line, Python, Ruby, Perl, and Java. The repositories also include the PostgreSQL, MySQL, and the other packages. So this already comes with it, all right? Now, this is the instance type that you have used, as we are just creating a sample one. It has 1 GB, or close to like 0.6 GB RAM and 1 CPU. The network performance is very low, as we are using just the sample or a free tier SSO, or like a free tier image. In terms of security, you can access it through the SSH. You can install a Postgres client in your computer. As long as you are using it from this IP address, it will work. It will allow you, even in your Windows computer, you can download the client and just accept this PostgreSQL command right there. Same thing for MySQL, you can use it from this. These are the ports that it will allow it to be open. Okay, these are the network details that you see it right now. You have the network is VPC, virtual private network. Subnet is no preference, so it's gonna assign automatic public IP and private IP address. Remember, our monitoring is off for now. That just tells you one thing, that we are not currently monitoring it with the CloudWatch. But again, don't worry about it. We will learn the cloud monitoring in the next lecture. Termination protection, it's no. So in case if you accidentally terminate it, there is no way to recover it. Okay. Let's look at the storage as well. We just have one root drive with the 8 GB storage, and these are all the tags that we have for now. Department name, UAI, machine image, and project charge code. That's all we have for now. Now, what will happen? You have pretty much configured all those things now. Now, the simple thing you will do is just click launch instance. Okay, and go ahead and create a new key. Just name it as Linux instance. Okay, just download the key pair. Again, remember, this will be your .pem extension. This is very, very important. Just save this file. What I would do is I will just store this onto a desktop so that you guys can easily see this, right? There you go. This is the file that I'm just loading it onto the desktop, right? Just for the easiness. Now we are all set. Just click on launch instance, and now you just have to wait for a few minutes before your instance is ready. So just go to EC2 and you guys will see the status as well.